Introduce you.
You have beautiful blue eyes.
Thank you. All right, welcome to the Fireworks Show. We are so excited and honored to have Inner Circle Senior National Sales Director Cindy Williams with us. And I'm going to read her accolades. Cindy and Dean have 4 grown sons, 2 beautiful daughter-in-laws, and 2 precious granddaughters. Cindy joined Mary Kay at age 25 and earned, you guys listen, she earned her first pink Cadillac at age 27. In personal sales, Cindy has been a star consultant for 122 quarters.
Whoa.
Her unit, you have your pin? There's
Yes.
the ladder of success. Cindy led her unit to over $1 million in sales 3 times and the #1 unit at Seminar twice. The Williams National Area debuted in 2000, ranking #1. You debuted at the same time as Maureen Letta, right?
Yes.
That's who our national was.
I love Maureen Letta.
Anyway, the Williams National Area debuted in 2000, ranking #1 national area in the Ruby Seminar the last 3 years and top 10 in the nation. Cindy's highest honors were to be nominated Miss Go Give, to crown Susan Moore as the #1 director in the nation, and to debut Tammy Valvola and is it Mary Durer as Offspring National Sales Directors. To date, Mary Kay has awarded Cindy with 18 pink Cadillacs, and she proudly drives a 2019 pink Escalade. Mary Kay has awarded Cindy many incredible gifts, including exquisite diamond jewelry, rooms full of furniture, and dream vacations all over the world. Cindy has qualified for the top Mary Kay trips every year except one since 1987, which means Mary Kay has rewarded Cindy with 33 years of all expense paid annual first class dream vacations to, okay, I want you all just to close your eyes because I'm going to read all the places she's been. I want you to imagine that you're going to be there. Paris, Rome, London, Switzerland, Austria, Germany, Spain, Portugal, Scotland, Ireland, many Mediterranean cruises, 4 dream vacations to Hawaii, Russia, Denmark, Sweden, Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, New Zealand, South Africa, Singapore, Hong Kong, Beijing, Shanghai. I sound like that Uber Eats commercial. Beijing, Shanghai, Dubai, Argentina, Chile, and Monaco. Okay, you can open your eyes. Okay, that's amazing. And Cindy has earned over $9 million in her Mary Kay career. So that averages over $225,000 per year for the last 39 years. So that is what Cindy has accomplished. But I just have to say, Cindy, I truly am honored and so privileged to have you on this call. I was one of those consultants that had to sit in Hall A back in the day, and you come and get us all excited about being at Seminar, even though we had to watch it on a screen. So I have been watching you for so long, and I went on the Star Cruise with Cheryl Warfield as a new director when we went on that 4-day cruise and heard your story. You've been such an inspiration to so many, and I've shared your story with so many women to help them feel comfortable and confident coming into such a glamorous company as Mary Kay. So I just appreciate you being a pioneer and paving the way for the rest of us to follow you. So thank you so much for giving us your time and doing this for us today.
My joy and my job. And congratulations to all of you for earning it. You know, I always love the saying that it's not the chosen few, it's the few that choose to really move up, suit up and show up so you can go up. So congratulations to you. And one of my favorite sayings is simplify and you'll simply fly. I think Mary Kay is simple. I think life is very hard, but I think Mary Kay is very simple. It's not easy because ease means without effort. It takes all of me to do this job. I've said that. I didn't really understand what it meant for so long, but now I truly understand what it means. It takes all of me to be a mom. It takes all of me to be a great wife. It takes all of me to be a great entrepreneur in Mary Kay. And so, you know, there's a scripture, whatever your hand finds to do it with all your might. But on the flip side, don't work for perfectionism. It's a waste of time. My favorite sermons I ever heard at church was the priest said, you know what, God just knows you're doing the best you can. And that was so, I don't know, soothing to me because we're all a hot mess and everybody's got a story. You know, this is Hollywood, baby. What's your dream? Um, but you got to do the best you can with where you are. Nobody lives in your house. Nobody knows your life, what you're dealing with, nor do they really need to. Because if you don't watch it, pretty soon you tell somebody all your problems and they have a party. It's called a pity party. They can't wait for you to quit talking so they can tell you all their stuff. And everybody feels bad. It's not like we're Pollyanna, real life happens, but we can choose joy. The joy of the Lord is our strength. And I believe that that is a choice. I believe you can be victim or victor, bitter or better. And I think there are happy people in huts and miserable people in mansions. You just got to choose what you want to focus on. And nothing gives more energy or joy than gratitude, that spirit of gratitude, to be thankful for what you have going right. We've all got stuff, and we can focus on what's wrong or we can focus on what's right. And Dean Piper, my husband, says, baby, the rear view mirror is little and the windshield is big, so quit looking back. Now, that's really good advice. So I can share anything you want, just kind of guide me a little bit on what you want your people to hear today.
I would love for you to share a little bit about how you motivate yourself and how you, if you run into an obstacle, how you get yourself back in. Like if you have a disappointment, how do you get yourself back into, no, Mary Kay is great and I love it and I want to keep doing it?
It's pretty simple. I go sell something. As a leader, I can get very caught up in the muck and mire. Their scripture says, to the things that so easily entangle us. If I focus on what's going on with my people. But when I just focus on simple Cindy, find a need and fill it. I'll give you an example. Dean loves to buy cars and trucks. He finds them all over the United States, even one he got from Canada. He likes big block, late 60s, early 70s, whatever, these cars. And he flips them. He buys them and sells them. And last night, a guy delivered a car all the way from Colorado. He didn't get here till 10 o'clock. And I rode with Dean about 20 minutes to the warehouse because I didn't want him to go by himself. And I thought it's Valentine's Day, coming up. Then I bet this guy, he needs a Valentine's Day present. So I always have stuff in my car. I'm an Inner Circle National, but I still sell the mother load of Mary Kay. Okay, guys? So I'm proud of that. I don't diminish it. If Mary Kay wanted our title to be coach or mentor, she would have put that in the title. I'm an independent national sales director, sales, and nothing happens till somebody sells. And I personally don't know how to motivate you until I sell. It gives me a rush. It gives me a high. I find a need and fill it. I've got some 12 days of fave left over because I bought mine and other people's, and because I could only get 10. And so I have that. So that's $100 all day long. If you have any of those left, put them in your back seat. Today's the 10th. You got 4 days. And the only competition we have is convenience. It's got to be convenient for the client, but also for you. I'm not going to go chase that guy down again or go back. I don't want to mail it to his girlfriend in Colorado. But if I've got it right there and he pulls out $100 bill, we're both done. He gets a present, I get the cash, and I skip all the way back home. So and it was my senior director, national sales director, Jackie Swank, that reminded me when I would call her being frustrated with life, whatever, with people, because you're in the people business. Welcome to the party of frustration. If you take that word, frustrated, and make it fascinated, just change that one word. I find this fascinating. I find you fascinating rather than frustrating. But Jackie Swank, one time I was called her, I don't know, about something, because you call up when you have a problem. If you have good news, you tell everybody. If you have bad news, you only tell up. Don't tell your sister director, your sister consultant, because she's having a hard enough time dealing with her crap. Y'all don't dump your stuff on her, but you call somebody that you would trade places with, somebody more successful than you, right? Don't take advice from anybody you wouldn't trade places with. And I called Jackie about something, and she said, Cindy, just turn off your phone and go out there and hold some parties. Just go sell some stuff and call me back. And I was like, well, she's right. Because when I just block out the noise and I go find a need and fill it and serve people, that's the simple part of the business. I believe my product's the best. I believe my prices are the best and nobody can compete with my service. I believe I'm the best. I pop out of the bottle. I tell people, when you buy my moisturizer, I'm like genie in a bottle, baby. I pop out of it every morning. And so the one-time sale means nothing to me. I want you to use it to get benefits from it, to keep using it for the rest of your life. I want to be your beauty consultant forever and ever. I'd love to work with you. Would you love to work with me? I mean, I'm honest. And I even tell, I love skin. I don't care a thing about color, never have, but I really love to study about skin. I even like skin problems, psoriasis, eczema, acne, because I had really problem skin. So I've studied about those things because that brings me joy. It's not a burden. I don't want to watch somebody do a professional makeup artist class. Ugh, that's just me. We're all a different sprinkle on the cupcake. If you love color, go be a color person. You'll attract those people to you. But I'm not saying right or wrong, I'm just telling you who I am. And so if I met somebody and she has skin problems, I would say, it's Jerry Ann. Is it Jerry Ann?
Jerry Lynn.
Jerry Lynn. I would say, Jerry Lynn, you know what, just so you know, it's going to take a lot of work for me to work with you. You got problems. You can't use a lot of other brands, you know, all this stuff, but I will work with you. I'm willing to work with you if you're willing to work with me, because I care about you and I think I can help. But just so you know, it's a lot of work on me too. It's a lot easier to find somebody that don't have all these problems. So do you want to do this or not? I'm just going to be upfront with it because it is a lot of trouble. So those are, and I tell people things like, Jerry Lynn, when you run low of your cleanser, like halfway, you need to call me. I'm not going to call you and remind you. Okay. So I would suggest you get two, one for your shower, one for your sink. And now you've got two. But if you ever run out, you know, then you're going to be in dire straits, and I will get it to you, but let's just be, you know, proactive here. Right. Because I'm not going to call you back. So, and I don't, I pretty much didn't. And I would coach them though. The advantage of having me be your beauty consultant is I'm really good. I have product on hand. I know skin. I've gone to seminar every single year. I take pride in my education. Nobody's going to give you better service. The disadvantage is I'm in high demand. Everybody wants me. So you're going to have to chase me. Got that? But I've traded your foundation color out 3 times. So when the girl next door joins Mary Kay and tells you you need to buy from her, you're going to say, 999, I have an independent beauty consultant that has earned my loyalty. I want your business. I need your business because of you. My son's going to private school. So I promise I will stay loyal to you, and I know you'll stay loyal to me. I would just plant those seeds with people, y'all. And then I built a residual income where people, not everybody will stay with you. And if you ignore them, they will go away. But if you coach them on the front end, Mary Kay taught us to over deliver and under promise. If you tell somebody you're going to call them, you better call them. If you tell them I'm going to call you back in 2 days and in 2 months or whatever, then you have to do it. So I took the opposite approach. I under promised and over delivered. And I would say, Jerry Lynn, if I ever do call you, confetti should fall from the sky. Ticker tape parade, because you must be one special chick, right? If you come to mind. But of course, I called my customers sometimes and I set them up. When they're new, you launch them really hard. You give somebody a facial, you sell them some product. Within 2 days, you better be following up to see how many compliments they've gotten. If they have any questions, within 2 weeks, you better give them a checkup facial to make sure that everything's working properly for them. And then every 2 months, minimally, you better touch base or they'll go on to somebody else or something else. Remember, what's your number one competition?
Convenience.
Convenience. So if she has to track you down and chase you, she's not going to do it. And she doesn't want to bother you for a mascara. She knows you're busy. You've got 3 kids. So you have to let her know, bother me. Bother me. Without you, I wouldn't have a business. I'd have to go get a day job. So because of you, I get to be a work from home mama. Because of you, there's a pink Cadillac in that driveway. And every time I sold something, my whole career, pretty much until probably about 8 years ago, I moved away from my hometown and all my customers and gave them to people. And up until then, every time I sold a product, I would write a thank you note and I'd mail it. I didn't put it in the reorder bag. I wrote the note. Dear Jerry Lynn, thank you so much for buying your Mary Kay skincare from me. I know you have a choice. I'm proud you chose what I believe is the best Mary Kay, and I'm super grateful you chose me. Love, Cindy. Or dear Jerry Lynn, because You bought your mascara. Just so you know, it makes a difference to my business. I care, you count. My son's going to Notre Dame Elementary School and his tuition is paid for with Mary Kay. Please don't forget me. Love, Cindy. I would hit him in the heart. I would mail him the postcard. I kept them on my desk, pre-stamped, pre-return address. I have to do something with the money. You got to have healthy habits or else it doesn't work. And so I had to do it right then. I don't put it in a stack to do later. It'll never happen. When I took care of the money, I took care of the note, credit card, check, cash, whatever. When I took care of the money, I took care of the note. And then it's just a healthy habit and it's done. When I'm listening to a Zoom or when my people are training, I have my postcards right there and I'm writing to them as they're training because that affirms that I listened. For example, if you were going to write to me, you would have your postcard here. And as the bullet points that I made for you, you would be writing to me so that when I got my note, I would know you really listened instead of just saying, thanks so much for being on our Zoom, which is okay. I'm not saying not to do that, but the more personalized you can make the message, the more piercing it is to the heart, the more likely they'll remember you later. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Same thing with your team members. You know, it's the same thing. Customers and consultants and directors and national sales directors, it's all the same training. I don't know what advanced training is. It's like, I don't know what advanced color is, dark or more. I'm never going to highlight or bronze my face in my entire life. I'm never going to use concealer. I'm never doing any of that. I don't want to do it. I've had my makeup done professionally. How many times backstage, blah, 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 Mary Kay. I don't even pay attention to what they're doing because I'm going to use biscotti and sandcastle under my brow, hazelnut on my lid, and on a big dog deal day, espresso. That's it. And my blush, I put that dark color by the other color, and you took the brush and you go across it, and then you do one swipe, and you get pink and brown. And then I use a different brush and I go this way, or else you get brown and pink. I have two brushes. One has a blue twisty tie for my hair wrapped around it. The other one has a black one. So I know that the blue one's for the left side, the black one's for the right side. That's my advanced color training. How you like that?
I love it. I love it. I love that you keep it simple. I think it's fantastic. And I will be honest with you, when I was in a class with Leah Carta and she said the best thing that she thought, I mean, she was joking with us, but somewhat serious. She was so excited to become a national because she didn't have to do her eye makeup to go on stage anymore because somebody would do it for her. And I thought, I don't have to be really good at color to be a national sales director. So I love that you keep it simple. I think it's fantastic.
They make you look so good. I never look so good as I do at seminar. It's awesome.
Love it. So let me ask you a question. You're so passionate and love selling this product, but I'm sure in your career you've had people that have had allergic reactions or didn't like it or whatever. So you just like brush that off and keep moving forward and only focus on the people who love it?
No, it bothers me.
Okay.
I posted something on my public Facebook page yesterday, and somebody put something very mean on it, and it does bother me. It was like, she wasn't in Mary Kay. I was like, who is this person? I went to her Facebook page and it was like weird because I was like, who would not appreciate me? Because I don't do anything that's not kind. It's just who I am. And my public page is so I can bless the world. It's not a private page. So Cindy Williams NSD, I mean, I did a good training yesterday on it. But anyway, yeah, it does wound me. Yes, but one of my number one affirmations is I'm unoffendable. And hurting people hurt. Who am I to judge? It did bother me and I felt bad for her. And I even went to say, who is this chick? But I could tell by her Facebook post that she's not happy. So she's not happy with me. She's not happy with herself or life. And it says in the Bible that if you teach a wise person, they get wiser. They lean in, tell me more. It says if you teach a fool, they get mad. In other words, all criticism has a source. The girl that criticized me on Facebook, there's a reason she did it. Okay? So we can look at criticism two ways. We can defend, dodge, become blah, blah, or we can say, okay, what's the source? How can I be better? How could I learn from this? A wise person leans in and says, tell me more. How did you come up with that? Now, I didn't open that door. This chick, that's too blah, blah, but that's a way I think about it. So that scripture, when you teach a wise person, they will want you to say, they will want you to educate them. And if you teach a fool, they're going to be a blamer, not my fault, the light. Think of the light shining up on you or shining on you. The wise person says, tell me more. And the fool says, not my fault. I don't know what you're talking about. Blamer, blamer. Okay. So yeah, I definitely get wounded, but I'm rooted so deep in my faith, nothing can shake that tree. I'm rooted so deep in my faith in Mary Kay, the opportunity and the product, nothing can shake that tree. We can shake it a little, but nothing can unroot the tree. And I love my people a lot. I'm a good shepherd. But if everybody quit, I wouldn't quit. Okay? They're not here for me. Everybody's running their own race. Something I keep on my desk, it says, only when individuals are empowered to reach their goals will the team reach its goal. They're not doing it for me. It just happens to be they're a part of a great team, but they're doing it for what's going to bless them and their families. They want to keep their faith, their family, and their career. They want to live and work by the golden rule. And if it aligns with me, praise God, because now together everyone achieves more. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. We can't have success without you. I believe we were created for communion. I think Mary Kay's the very best thing I've ever seen for people to connect and to build each other up. But there's a spiritual warfare, people. There's a dark side. I am Pollyanna. I believe only great things happen to me. I say it every day. I believe every day in every way I'm getting better and better and better. I believe the rest of my life is the best of my life. I say everything I touch turns to gold. I always get a parking spot up front. Nobody says no to me. Do you think those things are true? No. But it's my perception of reality. It's not reality. I'm never going to live in reality. Reality is dangerous. I'm going to live in my perception of reality. Do you think I get a parking spot up front more often because I expect to? Yeah. I love the saying, people rarely get what they want, but they almost always get what they expect. And I mean, y'all, I don't know if you figure all this out, but I got a divorce after 37 years of marriage. I'm very loyal and faithful. It was always unhealthy. I'm not going to go into that. I have no regrets. Don't look back. But it was the happiest day of my life when I left 7 or 8 years ago. 7 or 8, I don't remember. But I never complained. I didn't tell the story. I just finally had the courage to leave an unhealthy environment. And then I met Dean 5 years ago, December the 18th, 11 o'clock p.m. And I married him September the 26th, 2020 at 7 p.m. And so, you know, I know I've had I grew up, I had a colorful childhood. My mom was married many, many times. I never went to the same school 2 years ruined my life as a kid. We changed school every single year. Finally, by the time I was 16, I was tired. My mom actually had a nervous breakdown and went to a mental hospital for a year. And I actually moved back close to where my grandparents lived, got my own house, worked. I went to school my senior year, went to school from 8 to 12, got off 12 to 1 for lunch, went to work for the police jury. In Louisiana, we call it the police jury, through the DECA program. Kids that go to school half a day and work half a day. I went to work at 1 o'clock, worked till 3:30. I think I made $3 an hour, but it was a long time ago. I got off at 3:30 and I went to work at 3:30, and I worked at Cliff's restaurant for $1 an hour until 10 o'clock at night, closed the restaurant, mopped the floors, filled up the Thousand Island salad dressing things with this big old gallon and a funnel. I still can't look at Thousand Island salad dressing. Got home about midnight, got up the next day, never missed a day of school, made good grades. I got off Saturdays and I worked all day Sunday, and I watched the midnight special with Wolfgang Jack every weekend. That was the highlight of my weekend. And so that when my mom got out of the hospital at the end of that year, she would have a victory that I had graduated from high school. I wanted to give her that gift. So I know how to compartmentalize, Jerry Lynn. I know how to block out the bad and focus on the good. And people say all the time, how do you have so much energy? Part of it is because I don't worry. I live in a spirit of gratitude. I'm thankful for what good is happening. Also, I think my health is my wealth. I got to have the energy to run the race. So I eat healthy, not perfect. Okay. I'm not like, but better than most, because I know what I put in comes out physically and mentally. I love my Courage to Change book. I went to Al-Anon for a year. That was one of the best decisions of my life. I'd tried to, I've read every self-help book and I'd gone to paid people. I just never had a good counselor or a good shrink. So finally somebody said, you should go to Al-Anon. And I did. Every Friday at noon for a year in Kerrville, Texas at the Methodist Church, I went to Al-Anon meetings and it was very helpful. And now I still love my Courage to Change book. It's right here. It's a good one. The 3 C's of Al-Anon are, I didn't cause this, I can't control it, and I can't cure it. I can only take care of me. And so when you learn to do that, you block out the noise, you listen to your good Father, and you just do the best you can every day. We're all unworthy of grace. It's just freely given. So I just learned to love myself and don't look back. And it's hard. Remember, life is hard. Mary Kay's simple. Mary Kay's my escape. Mary Kay's my fun. Last night, this guy was delivering. I didn't tell you, I did 3 Zooms today, so I'm confused if I get lost. But Dean Piver, did I tell you Dean buys these old cars?
Yes.
Okay, did I tell you about the guy that I went and I started, but I got off on a track?
Yeah, you didn't finish. Did you sell something?
Yes, of course I did, because it's right before Valentine's Day. This kid drove from Colorado to bring Dean this truck he bought. He flips them. He buys and sells these cars and trucks. And he was leaving to go on to Miami, Florida. And I had already met him one time because he brought a car to Dean last week. And Dean connected with him and said, why don't you, I can use you more and more. And he told me last week when I met him, because I find out about people, this is how you build a national area. You care, you think 360. You don't talk, you talk to people. You don't talk at them. Can y'all feel I'm talking to you, not talking at you? There's a difference. And I talked to this kid and I said, we got a girlfriend? He says, I do. He said, 3 months ago, I fell in love with the girl of my dreams. He said, I always wanted to date her. I've known her since high school, but my life was a hot mess and she would never date me. He said, I finally got it together and we're crazy in love. And I was so happy for him. Well, off he goes. Well, then I know he's got a girlfriend. So last night, he didn't get here till 10 o'clock. So when I made Dean dinner, I made him some dinner. I knew he'd be hungry. He's a kid traveling across the country. So I put corn on the cob, wrapped it up in a paper towel so he could eat it and drive, right? And I was thinking about, I knew he'd be running, and he was. But you just keep 12. I have some 12 days of fave left over. So that's $100, easy peasy. I have my roll-up bag with satin lips, satin hands, satin body. I've taught on that forever. You can teach them later, Jerry Lynn.
Yeah.
And then you have your inexpensive things like satin lips, which if people only want to spend 20 or $30. So I like hundreds. Collars is my favorite, 150. So you just keep those in your back seat, all of you. If I go look in your trunk or your back seat right now, it's where I live. It's not too cold or too hot. My products are fine in my car. And so what is our number one competition?
Convenience.
So am I convenient to this kid on the side of the road?
Absolutely.
Yes. Is it convenient to me? Yes. Who was happier, him or me?
I'm not sure.
Right? It was a win-win. I don't know either. I skipped all the way back home because it makes me so happy to think about the girl that's going to open it. And I told him, you can't buy this in a store. She's going to know you had to really think about it. This is exclusively through an independent beauty consultant. So good job. So that's an example how I can be making all this money, but I care about this kid who doesn't look the part, act the part, smell the part. You understand? He is the child of the king, and I will honor and serve him while he's in my space. And then I'll probably never see him again, nor do I care. I'm off to the next person. I love the one I'm with. I'm 100% with you right now, but I'm 100% gone when I'm gone. I can't take it all on. I can't take it all on. It's too much. Okay. But I'm off to the next. I launch hard. When you have a new consultant, a new customer, you bind her to you. It takes a lot of work on the front end. Then you just service her. You can hire somebody to manage the base, but only you can lead the top. When you have a new beauty consultant, same thing. You bond her to you on the product and on the opportunity. You get her first team member right away because she has to learn the most. I got my first recruit within 24 hours of joining. I didn't know what I was doing. I just said, Emma, I don't want to do this by myself. She said, what is it? I said, I don't know, but let's learn together. I said, okay, that's the truth. And so you launch hard for the first 2 days, 2 weeks, and then you let them go. Catch me if you can. I don't force feed anyone. Got it? And so I'm free. It's not my responsibility. I say every day, I'm no savior. I'm a soldier. That's a good thing to say. There's only one savior, right? I'm no savior. It's not on me. It's not on me. I'm going to love you and lead you, and you can hang on or you can let go. I never let go of you. You have to let go of me. Does that help?
Absolutely. And I think if you'd be willing to share one more story, I think a lot of my girls will relate. I heard your story of when you went to seminar for the first time and you didn't feel like you really should be checking into the hotel, like you didn't belong there. Will you share that story? Because I think a lot of women can relate to that.
I was so nervous. Jackie said, go to seminar. I was 25 when I joined. I joined December of 81. My birthday's June 56. So I was 25. So now I'm almost 26 at my first seminar. I had a 1.5-year-old son, 2 maybe. He was born in 81. I don't know. I had one little baby. And so, I go to seminar, and even the clothes, I was so nervous about what to wear. Oh my God, I'm still get freaked out about that. If you notice, I have on my national suit. I always gonna wear my uniform. Just so you know, I don't figure out what to wear. I don't want to have a lot of clothes. I'm simple Cindy. So this is so great that we have a uniform. I wanted that red jacket right away because I would never have to worry about what to wear. All of y'all need to get a red jacket, a black beauty coat, red jacket, director suit, national suit. You only need 4 things for the rest of your life. And then you put on your Lululemons and your tennis shoes underneath. Right? Do a checkup from the neck up. And so, but I was so scared. And Jackie, I didn't even know how to go. This was before maps. And Jackie said, Cindy, just go to the ball. Just go to the ball. In Dallas, the big old ball in front. And that's what was my direction. So anyway, she was staying at the Anatole. I think it was the Anatole, but I was so afraid. I'd never been in a nice hotel that I couldn't go check into the hotel. I know that's hard to believe, but that's just where I was. And so I went to the phone booth. There was a big old line of phone booths in the hotel back then. So I went to the phone booth and I called the hotel to see if I could check in without having to go to that front desk. That's the true story. And then you fast forward to when I was at DIQ. It was in February of 1983. I went to seminar in 82, February of 83. We used to go to Dallas before we entered direct DIQ. Now you go after, but back then you went to Dallas for 5 days for director in qualifications training, which thank God, because I don't know if I'd have ever become a director, but that's what they did back then. But this is another example. I was so nervous about being there because I didn't want to be a director. I just wanted the training. So my goal was to go to Dallas, get the training, go home and never become a director. That's the truth. I love to learn. And I'd qualified. It's kind of like when you go to leadership conferences at DIQ, you didn't really have to be a director and you really never intended on, you just didn't want to miss the party. That was me. I went to the party, but that's all I was going to do. And one night we had two things. The first day we got there, we're on the bus. And I said, where do you sit when you're scared to death on a bus? I sat right behind the bus driver. I mean, I was almost up in his cookies. I was right behind that bus driver. And this bus had 2 couch seats that faced each other. Then it started the seats that went like this. So there was 3 women here and 3 women here. Here's the bus driver. I'm the girl right behind the bus driver. So it was me. And then the 2 of the women over here had matching purses. maybe even one on my side. They had, one of the women was Hope Pratt, but she and this other woman, and I think somebody else, had matching purses. So I got out my card and said, oh my gosh, did y'all come into Dallas early and go purse shopping? And they said, what do you mean? I said, well, you all have matching purses. And she said, oh, honey, these are Gucci bags. And I was like, well, what's a Gucci bag? I had no idea what a designer purse was. Are you kidding me? And they all laughed, and I laughed with them, but it wasn't funny to me. Do y'all remember? You gotta understand, I was trying so hard to fit in. I remember holding back tears. And then we went to the training, and the whole time I was like, I don't need to be here. I'm going to go home. I don't have what these people have. I don't know how to dress. I don't know how to talk. And then we had a free night, and they took us all to the mall with this big clock in the middle. I remember it like yesterday. And they had a Neiman Marcus in the mall. And all the girls went to the Neiman Marcus. And I had $100 bill that I brought to spend. But I stood in the hallway of the mall where the tile changed from the hall to the store. I could not step into the tile. I just stood there and cried. I didn't feel worthy enough to go into a nice store because I wouldn't have known what to do when I got in there. So I turned around all by myself and I walked down the middle of that mall. And I saw this sign called the Nailery. And you see my fingernails? They're very short. And they had fake nails. I'd never heard of fake nails. And I went in there and I said, I have $100. Can I get them make fake nails? And they said, matter of fact, we have a special just for you. And I got my glued on nails, whatever they were, sculptured nails. Oh my God, y'all, it was the best thing ever happened to me, because the next day I kept looking at my hand on the desk, looking at my hands, holding my pen, taking my notes. And I felt like I was beautiful, and it was magical. And then the next day, they announced that this one teacher talked. His name was Bill Kushner. He was one of the corporate staff, and he talked on family. Now, I don't really know what he said, but somehow God touched my ears, from his mouth to my ears. What I heard was, if you want to have healthy, happy, confident kids, you better give them a healthy, happy, confident mama. And I was a hot mess because of my history, my background. And I had an unhealthy marriage, but I just didn't know it. That's a whole nother story. And so I thought, if my husband could just hear what that man said, it would change my marriage. It would change my whole life. It was a corporate staff person. It wasn't a national. It wasn't Mary Kay Ash. Then the next little while, they said, if you broke a company record, you could have anybody at the corporate staff come speak at your debut. Remember, I'd gone to Dallas with no intentions of becoming a director. But all of a sudden, everything changed, because I believed that if I went home and broke a record and I had that man, Bill, come say what he said to my husband that I'd heard that day, all of a sudden my husband would see Mary Kay through new eyes. He'd see me through new eyes. It would change my marriage. So I left Dallas, the same little scared, acne prone, crazy hair, unworthy little girl, 26, 27 by then. And I said, I'm going to break that record. I left Dallas with 8 or 10 people. And 3 months later, we debuted with 56 people. We broke 2 company records. We did 24K in 1 month wholesale, a total of 56K in the 3 months wholesale, because I broke 2, not just 1 record. We finished May the 31st, April, May, March. I went in March, April, May. Back then you had to take 3 months. You couldn't finish in a month. Mm-hmm. So we finished in 3 months. And my goal was, I was going to tell Mary Kay, I don't want to be a director. I just wanted to break the record so that guy would come speak at my debut. But here's where the magic happened. When you do what it takes to get there, that prepares you. Those were my people. I had traded their foundation color out 3 times. I had held their 2-year-old and patted their dumb dog. I knew them. And so they were my people. You're not afraid to lead your own people. You're just afraid of the image of talking in front of this group or doing a newsletter or whatever. And so Bill Kushner did come to my house. He met my husband. He did speak at my debut. And he didn't change my husband, but it changed me. So that's how I became an independent sales director. and we went on to earn our pink Cadillac before Christmas. So I was immediately successful. My first year, we were top 12 in the nation. In my seminar, and top 10 went on the top director trip. Number 11 was Rosalie Majesty, and she was crying her eyes out backstage. Back then, top 10 went. It wasn't everybody that did the goal. And she was crying her eyes out, and I shook her shoulders and I said, what are you doing? Are you crazy? We're top 12, top 11 in the whole dang country. Everybody out in that audience would give anything to be us. Let's celebrate, girl. Who cares if they're going on the trip? Look what we did. That was always my attitude. And she said, oh my God, you're right. What was I thinking? So you've got to focus on the blessing, not the burden. What's good, not bad. My battery's fixing to die on my laptop. I got to go get my plug-in. Say something to the people.
Okay. Okay, so while she's away, I want you to think about how you want to affirm her, any questions you have for her. And LV Lamping teaches her unit to take 3 adjectives. Describe her in 3 adjectives when you affirm her. What did you learn from her through this? So think about that.
You learn to charge your laptop. The reason it's so funny, because I love where I sit. I can see the water outside of my house. I'm in my living room because my office, I hate sitting back there. It's this messy office, and I live on the water, and so I park here to do my Zooms, even though I have to clean it all up because Dean comes home for dinner. But anyway, okay, I'm back.
What did you say? You said focus on the what, not the burden?
Blessing.
Blessing.
I'm a wordsmith. I love
words. I love it. You say them so easily, but they're so impactful. It's hard to write them all down.
My directors gave me a gift at a leadership conference this year of a lot of the things I say all the time. Let me show you. It's really cool.
Yeah.
If I can find it, I think I can.
Like, I can't write as fast as she speaks. She says so many good, like, one-line things. I'm like, it's so good. Okay, so let's get an order. Who wants to go first, second, and third? Oh, and Sandra's on. I don't know if she can talk, though.
I don't know where I put it. It's all the things like sit up and show up and you'll go up. Just get there and then figure it out. I'm no savior. I'm a soldier. Simplify and you'll simply fly. Bitter or better, victor or victim, blah, blah, blah. I do it all the time, but I love words. I like play on words.
I love it. And I can totally relate to the Gucci handbag situation because I used to be a trainer for a retailer and I had to go open a new store in San Francisco, but I'm not a mall girl. Like, I just trained what I needed to train and I didn't go shopping. And I went with the district sales manager in the mall and we were coming down the escalator and she's like, oh, they have a Juicy here. And I'm like, oh, what's a Juicy? Like, can we get a drink there? And she's like, Juicy Couture, Jerry Lynn, don't you know? And I'm like, no, I don't. I shop at TJ Maxx. I don't know what you're talking about.
You know what Mary Kay gave me this year for Inner Circle? And everybody sees it, almost pees their pants, but it's a Louis.
Oh, nice.
I know, but I think it's so ironic. And even they gave me the little wallet. So funny.
That's awesome.
So, it's so funny how things come full circle. Isn't that interesting?
Yes. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let the girls, we've taken enough of your time. I so appreciate you. So I'm going to let the girls just affirm you and ask any questions they might have. I think Junior is going first.
All right. First and foremost, I want to tell you, I do have you on Facebook. I love your lives. You are so motivational to all of us. I was so excited. It's funny how you probably hear this all the time. You don't know us, but we kind of know you. So I'm so blessed to have you in our presence this morning. And I want to thank you for all your words. And it's funny that you say you're a words person because I'm like sitting here and I'm like writing words. I'm like, this is freaking awesome because it's just something so simple that could impact someone dramatically. So I thank you for sharing everything that you shared with. But I love the best one that I kind of like I can relate is to live in the spirit of gratitude, because sometimes we forget to be appreciative and grateful for what we have because we're so focusing on everything else instead of what we currently have. And so that is something that everyone should learn to live by. So thank you so much. Honestly, I wish I had the verbiage that you have. I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You do have it. You know what? We're going to figure it out forward. We don't fail forward. One of my offsprings taught me that, Gina. We're going to figure it out forward, and you're doing the best you can. So don't look side to side. Don't compare. Contrast, like the rainbow. Purple looks better beside green. One brings out the better of the other. So you do have, your words are your words, and they will evolve through the journey. It really is who we become. I know people say, oh yeah, just give me the money and the Louis and I'll be happy. But you got to be happy first. So thank you. And you look very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I told Jerry Lynn I got all pretty for you.
I can tell. I appreciate that. I do. And yesterday I had to go to the doctor, and I put on my heels, my pantyhose and my cute leather boots. And I have this, one of my favorite little dresses. It's kind of the 70s. It makes me think of the 70s. And I was the only person, everybody else in the waiting room and stuff, they all look like homeless people. We have got to shake it off, baby. You know, COVID is killing us softly with ugliness. Okay. And I'm not the diva. I am not the diva, but I thought, I don't get to go anywhere. Very sad that going to the doctor is your big day out. Okay. But everybody looked at me, and then I went to Costco, and then I went to did some of my errands, and I felt so sassy. So I appreciate you looking pretty this morning.
Oh, thank you.
I think Shirley's gonna go next. Are you ready?
Yes, this is like, I'm not a person, but anyway, sorry, I'm really good now with my words. I'm always stepping over my words. Thank you so much. I also follow you on Facebook, and I've been Jerry Lynn has mentioned you to me plenty of time in comparison, like as an example to look up to. So I made it an effort to follow you and to find out more about you, and I made sure that I made this the Zoom. I was like, I was like down to the end of the time. I think because we got the convenience that we are in the East Coast, but I was like, I'm putting in my order and it's gonna happen. And I talked to customers and checked like, and what else? And what else?
Good for
This needs to
you.
happen. Because I have to
Awesome.
be here. So I'm gonna make this as short as possible. But I'm really excited. Thank you so much for all that you're sharing. So I'm gonna use three words like Geraldine said. One of them is resilience. You what you spoke about, it resonated with me because I consider myself a very resilient person. So you overcoming the way it inspired me because you said you have a colorful background. So do I. So it spoke value when you said you spent over a year in a school. I can't even tell you how many times I have moved because I really couldn't keep count. So that spoke volume because even though we have that background, it doesn't. You are an example that with determination and positivity and just speaking it out, it can happen. And I too don't feel where I belong. I get very uncomfortable around certain people. My accent gets thicker, which is like what I try not to do. Like right now, like I'm really uncomfortable, so my accent gets a lot thicker, and I feel almost like I need to retreat. So I would have been running to that payphone too. So it really, thank you so much for your call for taking. We know you're a busy person, but my takeaway is that it takes all of me. You know that everything I do takes all of me, my heart, everything. Every relationship takes all of me. So I'm giving myself that permission that it's okay. And I also like that you said we are all a different sprinkle on the cupcake. Because I don't look like the average person. I'm so random, but I'm a different, like, look at me, I'm mad colorful right now. Like I'm going to a luau. But
Beautiful.
I just, I like that you gave me permission. Like, you know, you spoke like give yourself permission to be different, and that's okay. And so thank you for that.
Oh, I love you. I tell my daughter-in-law, she's so amazing and eccentric. I said, Tara, fly your freak flag, baby. Be you. Don't conform. Do not conform to the patterns of this world, but be transformed by the Spirit, right? Do not conform. Fly your freak flag. It's who you be. DNA stands for do not argue with your creator. He made you quirky on purpose. Those are another one, like DNA, do not argue. He did not make a mistake. You were knitted together in your mother's womb. He knew you before you were born. You know, that our good Father loves us so much. And I'm so grateful that I finally lived enough years to finally love myself like my Father loves me. Because we can become victims to our past. You know, it's really not what happens, it's how we deal with it. But there is a generational curse and a generational blessing. You can break the strongholds of your family and your past. You can do that, but it takes all of you to do that, okay? So whatever you can do to go back to your energy, your strength, your happy place, for me, it's selling. I know everybody laughs at me. I'm an Inner Circle National that's still a star consultant every quarter, but I love the product and it makes me super happy. And I'm not selling for the money. I'm selling for the win and the win. Win for them, win for me. And when you really believe in the product, like the new clinical solutions, people, it's a game changer. We trained on that this morning. Even that milk, I know we're limited to 5 right now, but as soon as you can raise that, you need to get a lot of that. People that have real irritated skin, that product is going to save their life. I'll just be honest, my little nephew is 21, he's Down syndrome, and he has extreme sensitivities with his skin. And downstairs in his boy parts, he has a lot of trouble. And that milk is a lifesaver. I mean, a lifesaver. So there's so much more to this product that you're going to find. But when you feel passionate that you're really giving people a win, that they're getting the best product at a fair price and you're providing the service, you can't stop yourself from selling, Mary Kay. The root meaning, the word sell, the root meaning, I think it's Latin, celle, one of the meanings is to give. Before there was money, monetary, I would give you my corn, you would give me your turnip greens. We would give, celle. Give somebody the chance to use the best product and let them give you a chance to be a successful businesswoman. Win-win. You're not going to get them, you're going to give them. If you change that spirit and that energy, I used to have to make myself give. I couldn't do it. I'd follow somebody around the grocery store for 2 hours and couldn't give my business card because I felt like I was taking from them. But when I shifted my energy to know I was giving them, the greatest gift is me. I'm the gift. I'm the beauty consultant. I am Mary Kay. So when you get me, you get it all. I care, you count. So when I shifted my thinking, then you can't stop yourself. Before I had to make myself talk to a stranger, now I can't stop myself, whether it's a guy delivering a car or whoever. I believe in it so much, like my faith. I believe, that there is a place in heaven for us to all go, and I want us to all be there together. But I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. So live your life. So God bless you. You're going to be a great director, and I believe you're going to be a colorful, powerful, positive national sales director.
I agree 100%. Alicia, would you like to share?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Geraldine, for assembling us today. I am always proud to be on the Sparkler Fireworks Show. And to you, Cindy Williams, I thank you for all that you shared with us today. It was totally a lot that I personally needed to hear, just coming from someone else's perspective. But the 3 adjectives that I chose was joy. Your joy in your journey was so encouraging that no matter where we are, we can all end up where God wants us to be. And then your attitude, it was attracting. It was like, she rocks totally on Facebook and right here. So it's almost as if we get to experience you in person, even though we're still in the box, we still got to be, when you talk to us, you were talking to us, not at us. So that was very attracting. And then the last is your belief. Your belief is so bonding to what God has called us to do in this Mary Kay business that it's oftentimes that some people don't see how you put the 2 together. But I think that Mary Kay started the journey for us to continue to be just what God said to do. Go ye therefore and teach all nations. So we're teaching with what we bring. So your belief is definitely bonding. So I thank you again for sharing with us, and I wish you the very best on your journey.
Thank you. We're created for communion. That's another thing I say all the time. Why did he bother to put us here? It's for each other. And I don't know of a better way to connect with people than through Mary Kay, the product and the business. So you're beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you. So are you. It's all Mary Kay.
I know, me too. 34 years. No, oh my God, 39 years now.
Yeah, since about 12, I won't tell my age because someone says that we're not supposed to tell our age, but since 12, I've been on Mary Kay.
When you become a national, everybody's going to know how old you are because they make you retire.
Retire.
But I'll wait.
Okay, you wait, girl.
It's going to be a sad day for Mary Kay when you retire, Cindy. I can say that for
you know what? You're going to be greater than I. That's what Jesus said to his disciples. I believe every generation is getting better than the generation before. We're just all different, but there's seasons. And guess what? Now, Jerry Lynn, tag, you're it.
Okay. That's a heavy responsibility, but I will take it. I will take it on. Thank you. Okay. I'm not sure if I think Sandra, you said she's off today. Does she want to, I messaged her to see if she wanted to share, but I haven't heard from her yet.
I am here. I
there she is.
I had a gentleman come and pick up his wife's Valentine. So
awesome.
I forgot about the meeting after that. So I am plain faced. That's why I am staying in the black. But I loved everything you said. Your inspiration, your motivation, and the excitement that you carry within yourself. It's just all wonderful words that you had to say to us. And I just loved listening to you. I barely wrote notes because I had to sit here and just listen to you. I was mesmerized.
Well, thank you, and congratulations on selling a Valentine's Day present. Y'all, we can sell a lot between now and the 14th. It just be thinking, who can you bless? Who needs your services? Because typically the guys are going to go pick up candy or go pick up flowers, and we appreciate that. But man, to get something that they had to really get from an independent consultant, they can't buy in a store, what a gift. I mean, to me, that's a powerful message to the woman. So be courageous and reach out to the people that you know that could use your executive gift service, okay?
Yeah, he bought 2 perfumes and the souffle, so $150.
Perfect.
That's awesome. That's exactly what you said, Cindy. 100 or 150. Those are your price points, right? Oh, that's perfect.
And I just wanted to thank you for coming on and just telling us everything that you told us.
Well, thank your director. Her leadership is everything. You know, without her moving up the career path to become an independent sales director, being at seminar all these years, knowing who I was, she wouldn't have known to connect with me. So be sure to appreciate your leader.
Thank you, Cindy. Thank you so much for your time. And don't worry, Sandra, I recorded her. So I'll send you the recording, then you can take notes. So thank you so much, Cindy. And we just appreciate you and love you. And we love all of the joy that you give to the world. And we so appreciate you and your time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for trusting me with your people. God bless y'all.
Of course. Bye-bye.